welcome back to Press Pause Extra. My name is TJ Leo.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is the console boot ups / startups review, whatever episode.
Commentary, whatever.
Commentary.
Just a fun little thing to talk about.
Yeah, something extra.
Some caveats, of course, because there are always caveats. We don't have absolutely everything in here.
No.
We don't have every obscure little system or every possible variant of every startup. I think we did a pretty good job of collecting most of them.
We have roughly 25 different ones, maybe something like that.
We got a bunch. Well,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of videos, but then some of them have multiple intros in a single video, so it's even more than that. We've left out the ones that are really, really, really basic.
Very basic. The Atari ones.
Yeah, or where it's just like, here's the logo or whatever.
Yeah. And we'll mention those as we go along, because I'm going to try my best to do this in like chronological order.
Yeah.
For each company. So we're going to start with Sega.
Yeah. And then the other thing that actually brings me to the other thing is that technically not all of these are startups. Some of them are, this is what happens if you turn on the system without a game in there.
Without a game in it, yeah.
But
the discless screen.
When else would we ever talk about that? There aren't that many of them.
No.
And so we might as well just throw them in here. Also, some of them are cool, so why not?
One thing I'll say right off the hop is that it's kind of surprising how inconsistent they are, and I'll get more into what I mean by that as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna watch them together. We're going to discuss them. Review them how if we like them, if we don't like them, how cool they are, and see if we know anything surrounding the particulars of what we see.
Yeah.
I definitely have a few stories.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's worth mentioning, shout outs to all the people who upload these. You should be able to see them, their YouTube accounts in the window. Because there's not like one single place where you can get all of these. Both of us had to scour around, because they're also in like varying levels of quality, especially the older ones. And there's also some out there that are like fan made, HD remakes of them, which are cool, but that's not the original. That's not the real one. Like I saw somebody had made a fantastic recreation of the Jaguar boot up. I don't know why you would, but they did, and it looks awesome. But that's not what the actual Jaguar displays. So as cool as it is, it wasn't useful for this video. So we had to, in some cases we had to make compromises, because it's like, well, this one looks how we remember it, but it's not the actual one. It's a recreation. So we'd have to go with like a lower quality one. But we tried to make certain that we got the best picture and sound quality we could on these.
I definitely found a few that was literally someone like booting up the system and then pointing their camera at the TV. I was like, okay, we can do better than that.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah,
than
we're
that.
not that desperate.
Yeah, no, we can do better than that. Let's kick things off with the Sega Master System, which we recently talked about on the last episode of Press Pause Extra. Yeah, very briefly. Very briefly. So let me just make sure my volume is good. It is. Cover your ears for those of you who have their volume really loud. We've done our best to make sure the volume is, not going to blow your.
We only have so much control over that.
Exactly. So we'll see how this goes. So let's watch this. I'll mute it after a little bit, and then we'll start talking about it.
Mm. You can immediately see why I like this one.
It changes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a punch. Just wait till you see what else it does.
Oh.
Yeah. The stars get going.
The stars do the dance.
Yeah. So, if it wasn't obvious, this is the Space Harrier theme. which is my favorite.
And they use
arcade
that for the
game.
Master System boot up.
Yeah,
that's weird.
There's two Master System versions of Space Harrier. There's the regular one, and then there's the one that used those crappy 3D glasses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is all, like, if this was a competition, this would already be over. This is the best one.
Oh, hot take. Hot take.
Yeah.
I have no connection to Space Harrier, so I can't say I have the same nostalgia here.
I love that game. Absolute favorite arcade game of all time.
So the music is fine. It's nothing for me.
The rendition is great.
Yeah, it sounds good quality. Especially for the Master System. Mm-hmm. And I love that when the stars start sparkling in the background. That's really cool.
The main beat. Stars are going to be a recurring theme here, by the way, because a lot of these use star fields in their backgrounds.
Yeah. No, I like.
This isn't even the only one from Sega that has stars in it. Actually,
there's a lot of weird.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I like this one. I wouldn't put it as near my favorites. By the way, I haven't seen probably 50% of these, so this is one of them.
We got into some of the weirder stuff.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is that it has to be a system that you can buy. I did bring up to Trevor the idea of the Nintendo M82, which was like a multi-cartridge demo kiosk that also has a Starfield background. But he was like, nah, that's too obscure. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. And it's not really a system you can buy. It's for in-store demos. So we didn't count that. We didn't forget about it. We just didn't count it.
Yeah, this is console releases only.
Yeah. Also, for those who are curious, no, I don't know what it says in Japanese, but I suspect it says turn the power off and put in a game, mainly because it says the word off in English, and also that first kanji symbol is electricity. So I do recognize that symbol at least.
Yeah.
So it's pretty reasonable to assume that that's what it's saying.
I'm noticing it says version 2.1. Did it ever change?
So you'll notice that it's called the Master System /Mark III. The Master System is the American version of a Sega system that was the Sega Mark I, and then the Mark II, and then the Mark III, because they kept revising the design. So that might reflect that the BIOS is slightly different. It might also have something to do with the card compatibility, because there were Master System games that came on cartridges and some that came on cards, which I think were cheaper to produce, but had like a capacity limit.
Okay.
So I don't know. That's just my speculation. But yeah, man,
gotcha.
Space Harrier, love it.
I love the sparkles. Love the sparkles. Those are cool. Did not expect that. No. Oh, there's one star that blinks yellow every so often too. I wonder. Yeah. Wonder what the idea behind that one is. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think it's one of those things where you're like, whoever was designing this was like, you know what, dink. It's like they must have done it for some reason.
Just have that little one go off for whatever reason.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Let's see what one would be next in the Sega lineup. Let's see.
Little behind the scenes here. The service that we use to do this has like a tab import thing for the screen share, but it changed the order of the tabs, so it's not in order anymore. So Trevor's gonna have to search around for it a little bit.
This should be fun. We're gonna do the Sega CD ones next, because there's several.
There's a bunch of those.
Now I think
I got all of them.
Yeah. Now I don't know if when I switch it to the next one, if it's going to automatically play. So
we'll find out.
Cover your ears.
Yeah.
It might blow the volume again.
Be prepared.
So yes, maybe lower your volume briefly. I'm going to switch over to it in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's probably going to play.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is.
And you have it pre-muted. So, yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
And now it just flips around.
Yep. It just flips around. So the reason they're doing that is to show off like the scaling capabilities that the system has, that you can take graphics and make them go, whoa. And that's going to be a running theme with all of these because they all do it.
Yeah.
This one's okay. The music is fine. It's not my favorite of the Sega CD themes. We will get to that one. I think you'll know which one is my favorite.
I think you know. Yeah, we have pretty similar tastes, so I'm assuming that I'll know which one is the best one.
We know each other well enough.
Yeah, I think we'll have similar taste. I haven't seen any of these. I've never owned a Sega CD. Never played a Sega CD. Nope.
Oh, really?
No. I think I may have. I mean, I've definitely seen footage of Sega CD games, especially like Sonic CD and stuff.
Yeah, you've probably played Sonic CD in like some kind of collection because it's only been released in like 50 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I bet you there was a Sega CD collection on Dreamcast. I have to assume because I feel like I have played Sonic CD.
There was Sonic Gems collection on the GameCube. There was there was a PlayStation 3 360 like live arcade release of Sonic CD that had native widescreen, which was actually really cool.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of this particular one, but we have I think 7 more Sega CD ones to get.
Yeah, there's a bunch. So because there were 2 models of the Sega CD. There was the one for the Model 1 Genesis, which goes beneath that Genesis and has a tray drive, and then there's one that goes to the side of the Model 2 Genesis that has a top-loading drive, and they each have a different startup screen, and they're all different for every region. And then there's 2 licensed variants of the Sega CD that Sega licensed out to other companies that also have their own unique startups.
All right. I've got the next one here. Volume is good, so we should be good. But check your volume, folks.
Do it. Yeah, so this is the same music, but it's got Sonic. This would be the side loading one, the one that snaps onto the side and has the top loader. And once
again, why does it say Mega CD 2?
Because this is for the Genesis Model 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
This is the one, like the Genesis that I have, the smooth black one. And not the one that says 16-bit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best one.
The form factor for the Genesis is different, so the form factor for the Sega CD units also had to be different. Really great design theory there, Sega.
Yeah.
But this was 90s Sega we're talking about. We all know how that ended up.
Do all of them have the same music?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I think this one's weird. You have some generic shapes in the background, and then you have
got that's some Trapper Keeper shit. Remember when binders and notebooks used to have that psychedelic 90s CGI art on it?
Yeah, Reboot did a thing with it. Yeah, there was
Simpsons did it as well. Remember, there was that episode where Homer, the Halloween episode, where Homer goes 3D. Yeah, there's just a bunch of shapes bouncing around.
I mean, I guess it's of that time, I guess.
It is.
So it
is.
But
it was trendy.
I will say that Sonic does not look very good, though.
The Sonic, it looks weird. I've seen worse Sonics, but I've also seen way better. His hand is comically large, and his index finger is
Yeah, why is that finger
It's longer than his hand.
Yeah, that's a bad Sonic image. That's really bad.
Okay. I mean, this was probably the first time anyone ever modeled Sonic in 3D. I wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I like the other one better, even though the other one's not great either. But
the sky image in the other one looked nice. It's basic, but it's nicer to look at than this.
Okay. Let's see what our next one is here. My computer is fighting for resources. Okay, this one is.
We also, I notice we have the Observer in chat from a previous episode.
Is he back? He's back.
Yep. Who has mentioned the Game Gear. The Game Gear did not have an intro.
Oh, yeah. Game Gear was so strange.
I checked because I had a Game Gear, but I haven't played it in a long time, so I had to check, and no, it does not.
It didn't even do like the Sega. Didn't even do that.
Certain games did, but
oh yeah, games.
That's not we're not doing game boot ups. We're doing system boot ups.
System boot ups.
That's also why like the Neo Geo stuff isn't going to be in here because all of that I believe is dependent on the game.
Yeah. All right, let's check out the next Sega CD one. Again, cover your ears. Volume is set, but let's see. Once again, the same music, so I'll just go ahead and mute it since we know it's the same music.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's...
I like this one. I like this one a lot. Like I said, stars again.
Yeah, this one's the best of the three, I would say.
Yes, it's got Earth in the background. It's got the moon.
I don't know if I would call that Earth.
Well, it's an
Earth-like planet.
it is compromised. You can only do 64 colors on screen at once. There's
I mean, there's the land masses don't exactly look like Earth.
Well, I mean, there's cloud cover. There's a lot of cloud cover, but it's a very cloudy day on planet Earth. Okay,
it's a very cloudy. It's always a cloudy day on planet Earth.
Nobody's noticing because they're all inside playing their Sega CDs.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Why are they backwards
I like
now?
this one. I think that there's that as well.
Okay.
The after image one.
It's a screensaver now.
Yeah, it basically they were really pushing. Yeah, they were really pushing. Okay. Look what we can do here. I still think that the images dancing around so much is excessive. They could have just spun in place and it would have been fine. But like I said, this is how it's going to be for all of them.
Trippy.
But I really like that background a lot. I do think
the background
a little more green in it. You're not wrong about that.
I don't mind the lack of green. I was just pointing out that the land masses don't look like any part of Earth.
Well, I think it's also like it's over. I think it's over a big chunk of the Pacific Ocean. I'm pretty sure that landmass, that's a sort of crooked one under the letter A. I think that's Japan. Which it would make sense that they'd show Japan
maybe
because it's a Japanese system.
Oh, but then what's the one underneath the D in CD? There shouldn't be anything there.
Well, I think that's like really skewed view of like Europe.
Jeez, that's a rough Earth.
Yeah, it's a weird angle.
It's pretty rough. Yeah, but no, I like the background and I like the moon that's in the shot. The star field looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I like the way Mega CD shows up, like colors and the design there. All right, let's see which one is next. I'm actually closing them as I go to make sure I don't miss one.
Yeah.
Again, I'm working around some subtleties here. Okay, so this one's number 6. Oh, well, that's nice. It goes in order when I change them in the browser, so that helps me. All right. Another Sega CD one.
Starfield shade in the chat from our one viewer.
Yeah, I'm currently trying that game for the 80,000th time. So we'll talk about that on Friday.
Oh, great! I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, so let's try the. It looks like a Europe version of Sega CD.
Yep.
Let me guess. Let's see if it's the same music. Oh, shocker!
Yep. And guess what? The Trapper Keeper background is there again, but now Sonic has been replaced with an optical disc.
Oh, good lord! Okay, well, this one is just as bad as this one. Might be the worst one, actually.
The weird Sonic is weird, but at least it's identifiably Sonic. That doesn't even look like a disc you could get at the time. It looks like a
disc you would burn.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it looks like a recordable disc, but who the hell would have been able to get a recordable disc in 1993 as part of the copyright date?
Yeah, no, this one's real bad. This one's real bad.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about this one.
No. All right. Not much to say about that one. It's pretty similar. So let's close that one. What's the next one here? Loading.
That was my knuckle.
Okay, so the next one might be
muted for that.
Yeah, you're good. The next one is the Sega the Wonder Mega.
Yes.
Which is what?
So this is one of the licensed. This is a third-party Sega CD produced under license by Victor Corporation. Also known
something
as
tells me
JVC.
the music will be different in this one. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fighting resources here. There we go. Oh, it's the same one. No, damn it! Wow, I'm so disappointed.
For you.
Damn it. Well, that looks weird.
Yeah, you got the spinning. Like I said, the color cycling thing is.
They called it the Wonder Mega though.
Yeah.
Was this for like Brazil or something? Like some weird place?
No. This is for Japan.
Oh, so that's what they called the Sega CD in Japan? Was the Wonder Mega?
Well, that's what they call the Victor / JVC manufactured version of it. Because in Japan, the Genesis is the Mega Drive, and the Sega CD is the Mega CD. So they're calling this the Wonder Mega to differentiate it from, I guess, just the regular Mega CD. I don't know.
Even though there's no real difference?
Even though there's no real difference. As far as I know, it plays all the same games and has all the same functionality. Yeah, it was weird.
What a weird time to be a Sega fan.
Yeah. Okay. The 90s in general were a weird time to be a Sega fan. They're doing fine now, but it was a weird time.
I don't like this one. It's weird.
I'm not fond of it either.
Yeah, it's just a little strange.
Yeah, the colors are kind of garish. I appreciate that they're doing something instead of being a static image, but like
nothing about this screams video game console to me.
No, this feels like, and you'll see as we get into it. This feels more like one of those media center type games, like the Philips CDI or whatever.
Yeah, which is on our list.
Yeah, and actually has a better boot up than this.
All right.
I apologize to the Philips CDI for comparing it to the Wonder Mega. You deserve better, Philips CDI, which is the first and only time anyone has ever said that.
Yep. Is this right? The JVC XI startup?
Yep.
JVC XI. So is this another Sega CD?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to guess that this one has a different song. Let's see.
Does it? Gonna have to hit play.
I hit it. I'm having some resource issues.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it goes.
Ah! That's terrible. And it still has the same music. And it's almost identical to the Wonder Mega.
Yep.
And visually.
Yeah, because Victor became JVC, so I think this was like after they rebranded to JVC.
Oh yeah, it says 93, and the other one was 91. Yeah, 2 years later.
Because JVC is just like Japan Victor Corporation, I'm pretty sure, is what that stands for. I can actually double check that just to make sure, because I'd hate to be wrong and have to issue a correction on Friday. Yeah, Japan Victor Company.
Yeah, didn't they make like VCRs?
Yep.
Yeah. I think I had it. I think I had one. Remember correctly.
Oh, okay. So here's they used the brand name Victor in Japan, and they were internationally known as JVC. So I guess they alternated between the branding.
Gotcha. Yeah. And why did they call it the XI?
That I could not possibly tell you.
That's even worse than Wonder Mega.
Yep.
Brutal. Okay. Well,
so
that one's bad.
Again, I hate to keep pointing out the chat, but it's just our chatter here has used the term VHS player, and I find it really funny that people have forgotten VCR and have just switched to calling them VHS players.
VHS players.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's just nobody ever said that back in the day. It was a VCR.
Oh, yeah. No, I still call it VCR.
Yeah.
Although I think he's older than me, so I don't know why he would call it that.
I have occasionally caught myself and said VHS player.
Wow.
It's happened once in a while.
Don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it. All right. Let's see. There must be another one.
Yep. There's 2 more. And they are the American versions.
It's loading, I promise. There we go. All right, so we have a very similar space look here. Will it be the same frickin' music?
Oh! No! It's different!
Whoa!
I love this logo. That logo is the best. The letters CD look like a disc. It's got that rainbow effect, like when you reflect light in an optical disc. I love this one. The background, you can see why I was easier on that planet background previously, because this one looks kind of like gray and brown.
Oh, it's doing the same exact 3D thing that the other one did.
Yep. It does the exact same thing.
Yeah, this one's fine.
Yeah. But the next one.
Oh.
The next one.
He's setting me up.
Yeah.
He's setting me up. All right. My poor computer. All right, here we go. Switching.
Your picture quality improves dramatically when you close the tab, and then it goes to crap when you open it again.
That sounds about right. My computer's having a hard time keeping 80,000 tabs open.
I look forward to seeing the performance improve slightly with every tab you close.
Yeah. Come on. Well, how's the weather?
The anticipation.
This time it's not a resources problem. There we go. Lord. It was actually getting the link to load. Should be coming up. Boom, there we go. All right. Well, this looks very similar. Let's see how it sounds. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds Metroid-y.
Oh, just let the music wash through you. I love this music. I love this. This is my favorite one.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, no, they're doing it. They're doing it. Don't you worry.
They should have just let it sit there.
Yeah, or just have them both slowly spin. But they're doing
it's doing the whole
again.
Yeah.
Yep. Every single one.
It would have been perfect if they just let it sit there.
Well, you know what else would have made it perfect? If the Sega logo was centered instead of left justified. That's always bothered me.
It's not even fully left justified. You can see that it's not aligned with the Sega CD logo. It's just just put there.
Yeah. It honestly doesn't even need to be there. It says Sega CD right there. We know it's from Sega.
Sega CD, Sega.
Yeah.
It's thanks. I do like the Sega CD logo, though. It is cool.
Oh, the Sega CD logo is insanely good. It's awesome.
It's super smart.
That is a really
good
design. Yes.
CD looks like a CD. That's pretty dope. Yeah. Dude, I don't like the rainbow effect personally, but
it felt like the future when you booted this up to play Sonic CD or something. It was just mind blowing.
That's the last Sega CD one?
Yeah, this is the last one.
Okay.
We saved the best one for last. I wish that the planet in the background didn't look so dead. If you brought over the one from that European version, but had this music and that Sega CD logo and centered the Sega logo, it'd be perfect. And if you maybe had them spinning around a little bit less.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't like the spinning.
Yeah, the spinning is excessive. It's way too much. But this is one of my favorites. Out of everything, I love this.
Wow.
I sometimes just put this music on to have in the background.
It is cool. I definitely dig the music. It's a lot better than the other ones.
Yeah, it's way better.
All right.
For anyone who's wondering, I did check what the boot up on the Sega CD-X looked like. It's the same. It's the same as that one.
Gotcha.
The CD-X, for anyone who doesn't know, was a 2-in-1 Genesis CD unit. Yes. These are all in one video.
Yeah. I'll just pause it between each one, I guess. So this is the European American Sega Saturn. Let's see. Oh, the volume's going to be high. I saved it.
Good timing. I like this. It's simple.
Clean. It's kind of cool.
It's quick. It's a lot faster than the PlayStation one. But they're all cool. A little bit different. Yeah.
Okay. I'll continue to let it play here.
Simple, clean, no problem.
This is the Japanese one. Ooh, I like that one better.
I like the logo. Oh, and it's also got a little bit of the interface there. I like the logo on that one better. It does still have the Orbit S logo in the bottom there. I do like the type for Sega Saturn there better.
Yeah, that looks sick.
I like the sound on the American one better. The Japanese one. The Japanese one has a very sharp load in, which is why it's a good thing that you rode that volume as swiftly as you did.
I'm gonna play those two again. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of a gentle lead in, and then boom, and then there's this one.
Oh yeah, no, I like that one way better.
I do like the ending of that one. The sort of shing sound that it has at the end. I just think that the opening part of it is too harsh.
I like the opening because it reminds me of another one that we'll see on our list today.
Oh, okay.
I like that. I like that one a lot. Let's see what this third one is here.
This one is pretty similar. This is another licensed by Victor Saturn variant. Just says V Saturn.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Very similar.
Yeah, this next one is quite different. That's my favorite one.
Interesting.
I like that one a lot.
That was pretty simple and pretty quick. I still think the second one was my favorite. The Japanese. This is the first Japanese
the
one.
Hitachi one is my favorite, and they actually used that at Digital Foundry for DF Retro. They've used that sound before as part of their video intro.
Yeah,
they've used the American Saturn sound as well.
Yeah, it's a very cool sound. I like it.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing these because I definitely never played a Saturn before.
Yeah, I didn't have a Saturn as a kid. It was it did not have the support that the PlayStation did. The rest of this is just like the video credits.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the last Sega console.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Loading.
This next one, I think we both have a lot of love for.
We definitely have both seen this one before, that's for sure. Many times. Or at least I've seen it many times.
Yes.
In person. This is the Dreamcast.
I've seen it. Oh, God, I've seen it so many. Yep. Love this one.
Here we go.
Love that sound. The visuals, they're fine, but I love that sound.
That's nostalgia
I didn't include it here because it's barely different, but the European version has a blue swirl instead of an orange one. That's the only difference.
Weird.
It's because there was already a company using an orange swirl as a logo there.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense.
So Sega just changed the color, and that was it.
So I have a few comments about this one. So definitely nostalgia for me. I really like it. But the Dreamcast logo makes no sense. There's nothing about it that screams like
anything.
DC or like
absolutely nothing. It's
just a swirl. Yeah, for no real reason.
Yeah. They were trying something different. I mean, we talked about this. The Dreamcast itself was just different.
Yeah.
The approach to it was different. Sega was doing different things. And it kind of worked. I mean, it didn't work out for them financially, but creatively it was great.
Yeah, no, it's a great console.
A lot of great games. Logo's weird, but who cares?
I like the logo. I just don't think it's a good logo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can like it but also, objectively speaking, it's like,
yeah, because it could be for absolutely anything. There's nothing about this that screams video games or technology or anything. Yeah. It's just a swirl. It's like the simplest thing you could do, other than a circle.
The animation I like.
The animation's great.
I like the sound effects of like the drip sound
as it bounces across the letters. Yeah,
the letters. But I kind of wish there was more of a flourish sound when it did the swirl.
Yeah, maybe
it doesn't really. It kind of just goes silent.
Yeah, it starts fading out. Yeah. I kind of like that, but I can also see how like something to accentuate the drawing of the swirl might have been beneficial.
Better. Yeah, this is probably in my top 3 that I like though.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Maybe probably third place is my guess,
I associate this with booting up lots of Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, I associate this with Power Stone.
Power Stone, yeah. Toy Commander, Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi.
Yep.
A lot of good games.
All good games. All right, so that is the end of the Sega portion. So let's get into Nintendo here. Now, some of these are going to be in a weird order, just because I said so.
Yeah.
But we're going to start off with the Famicom.
Yeah, Famicom Disk System.
If it will load. Whoa!
There's the stars again.
I think I have seen this one before. Oh, look at that. And you get Luigi coming over.
Yeah,
he turns it off. Why'd you turn it off, bro?
Turns off the lights, and then Mario comes out.
Oh, and he makes it
back
red.
On.
And what do they just go back and
forth?
And
Luigi's like, wait a minute. And Mario's like, hey, what are you doing?
And then they oh my god.
Yeah. And then they're just running around. Yeah, so we didn't get this here because we didn't get the disk system, which sounds like a raw deal, but I mean, by the time the disk system was out, cartridges were so much cheaper, or rather the chips to put in them were so much cheaper that it wouldn't have made sense to bring it here. So we didn't get to see this, but whatever. We got all the good disk system games. We got Legend of Zelda. We got Metroid, So not a big deal. However, here's a fun little bit of trivia that people may or may not know. The GameCube system menu where there's the cube and there's just that kind of droning in the background?
On the GameCube?
Yeah, when you're in the system menu for like managing memory cards and stuff like that. And there's like an ambient sound in the background.
Oh, that I don't remember. I remember the turning of the cube.
Yeah. Okay, well there's an ambient sound. There's an ambient sound that's just kind of gently droning in the background. People have sped that up and found that if you speed it up several times, it's the same series of notes as this. It's the same music.
Oh, interesting. So just a callback.
Yeah, it's just a weird little callback
Easter
to
egg
this music.
That's cool. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
just telling you to put in a disc.
Yeah, I'm not over the moon over it or anything, but it's not bad.
There is actually one variant of this that I didn't include because I felt like it was getting too into the weeds. Mm-hmm. In Japan, there was another third-party licensed version of a system. In this case, it was the Sharp Twin Famicom, manufactured by Sharp Corporation, which had the cartridge and the disc system in one complete unit. The only difference in the boot up is that it says Famicom there instead of Nintendo if it's waiting for a disc. That's it.
Okay.
That's why I didn't think it was really worth.
Yeah, no significant change. All right, the next one is the 64 DD disc drive.
Yes, which we also didn't get.
I've never seen this one, so let's see. Whoa.
Yep.
Well, that was trippy.
And then.
Oh.
Yeah. There he is.
It's a me, Mario.
Yep. He just comes out and he starts wandering around.
Hello.
So, believe it or not, there is an English language version of this, because Nintendo did have a working system menu for the US release, but the US release was canceled. But you can find footage out there with all this text in English. But I put the Japanese one in because that's the one that actually got released. But yeah, it's just Nintendo 64 logo rises out of the ground. It's got kind of a wavy,
almost out of
watery
water.
effect on it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. It's cool. Yeah. It's neat.
Yeah, I like the sound effect. I like that Mario runs around.
Yeah, he's cool. Doing stuff. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, I like that one. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
All right, let's see. What's this next one here? My resources are starting to load faster.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one I know very intimately.
Oh yeah.
The Game Boy. And it's very simple.
Very simple. Couldn't be simpler.
Let's do this.
Yep, you get the coin pickup sound. Simple, classic.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I heard that as a kid playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Every time I turned it on.
Apparently this screen is actually part of like a like some kind of like bootleg protection. Like there's some kind of check that goes on during this. And if it's a bootleg game that isn't able to defeat the check, it fails to load.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Especially for back then. Like, it's their first handheld system and has bootleg, anti-bootleg. That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I mean, this one's classic. I like it.
Yeah.
It's simple, and on the Game Boy, they couldn't really do a whole lot anyway. So.
No. And you wouldn't want it to be too long. This is like, it's 5 seconds. You wouldn't want it to be any longer on the Game Boy because you just want to turn it on and play. You want to play Tetris. You're waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
So just that quick little boot up.
Tetris for sure.
Yep.
Let's see. Next one, as you might guess.
Mm-hmm.
If it will load.
Yep. It's taking longer than it would have actually taken.
Yeah. There we go. It's the Game Boy Color. Jeez.
Yep.
I don't know why that took so long. Alrighty, let's check this one out.
Super simple.
Ooh, I like that one.
But it's in color.
It's in color, and the sound is actually slightly clearer too. It's slightly changed.
It's just a little bit sharper. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. That one. Yep. This one I actually probably have more nostalgia for than the original Game Boy one, because I had a color.
Yep.
For more of my Game Boy time than the original.
It's super effective. It's very quick. It's even quicker than the last one. It has a little highlight of color to show that it is in effect.
Yeah, it's multicolored for a quick second. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, it comes in as different colors, and then it settles on blue.
Look at that.
Yep.
That's nifty. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's really, really good.
Very basic, but very effective branding.
Yep. All right. We're at the point in my tabs where... Sorry, we're at that point in my tabs where all the tabs have to reload now.
Oh,
because it didn't want to keep them all open in the background. That's why it's taking longer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I played a lot of Game Boy Color as well. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
So it's a lot like the Game Boy Color logo in that it's got the shifting colors as it comes out, but it like scales in, it bounces. It's got like the little lens flare type thing. Again, showcasing the system's capability. We've got sprite scaling.
I will say that it's a little strange that the word advance is not in there.
Yeah.
Like why did it not have advance in there? It's very strange. I think if it had Advance in there, I might think this was my favorite, but it's just strange that I think they were just not ready to like leave Game Boy as a brand.
Yeah, just
behind
the
completely.
Simple. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just because the last one just said Game Boy, and they were like, maybe we should, because the last one didn't say Game Boy Color.
No, that's true. But it was just a Game Boy with color, like so that the logo did have color in it to showcase that.
Yeah, but this is also a Game Boy that has an advanced logo animation, so I think they just wanted to focus on the Game Boy part of the brand.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a really good one though. It's a good one.
Yeah. Yep. Saw this one a lot.
Yeah. I didn't see that one nearly as much as Game Boy Color. I have an Advance, but I for whatever reason I didn't like get super hooked on that particular console or handheld, I guess.
Oh man, I love the GBA. It's one of my favorites.
I do now. I've gone back and played it, but at the time,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if you've not gone through that library, you'd be missing out on a lot.
Yeah, no, I've played like Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission and like, yeah.
Oh, Zero Mission's so good.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty then. Now we got the Super Game Boy, which I actually have. I think I have it right here.
Oh, is he going to go grab it?
I know I own it.
No, he's got to dig it out from the collection.
I know I have it. I don't know
but
why
it's just not
sitting
immediately
right there.
accessible. Yeah.
Well, it's a weird shape. The Super Game Boy is a weird shape, so I don't think it fit. So it might just be in a box somewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah, let's watch the Super Game Boy one.
Yep, writes out the word.
That's fancy. At least, hey, this one says Super Game Boy.
This one, yeah, it does. It does. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Super Game Boy was a oversized Super Nintendo cartridge that you plugged into your Super Nintendo, but it had a slot for a Game Boy game in it. And so you put a Game Boy game in there, and you can play it on your TV. It was basically a very fancy TV out accessory, but it also let you do some cool stuff. It let you select a bunch of pre-made color palettes. It let you create custom color palettes. It had a bunch of preset borders. You can see it's just got the Game Boy styled border, but there was a bunch of preset ones in there. And certain games that were optimized for the Super Game Boy had custom borders.
Yeah, and didn't it have like a game within it? Like it was some sort of weird like quick game that you could play when you don't have a game inserted?
No, but sure. You could also paint your own custom border if you wanted to.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
It was super basic. I don't think it even had mouse support, so it wasn't even like Mario Paint levels of editor. It was like I have to slide the cursor around.
That's what I'm thinking
with
of.
The control pad. Yeah, but it was there. You know,
better than nothing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I love the Super Game Boy.
There was also, in Japan, there was a Super Game Boy 2, which had more accurate speed, because the Super Game Boy actually runs at a slightly different speed from the real Game Boy, which most of the time isn't a problem, but in some games it can be. Like games that have, like anything that demands accuracy or timing, it can be an issue.
Yeah.
But the Super Game Boy 2 is more accurate to the true speed of the Game Boy. The Super Game Boy 2 also had even more pre-made backgrounds, and it had a link cable port, which the original Super Game Boy did not.
For what?
Well, for linking games together, like if you want to trade Pokemon or something.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
But we never got that here. That was only in Japan.
That's very niche, I think. I think that would be a very limited market that would get that. Interesting.
Yeah, I think most people who would link Game Boys would just be using the actual Game Boy.
The Game Boy. Yeah. Makes sense.
But, it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And it probably should have been there on the original Super.
Yeah. All right. We're moving into what I assume is one of our favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And probably one of people's favorites in general. I
like how they had to say not a meme on it.
Yeah, it's not a recreation.
There are so many parodies of the GameCube logo.
Yep. Let's watch it. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So good. So good.
I love it. It's just clean. It's fun. It's great.
It's not long. It's
not long.
Great.
Yeah.
And it is one of the best logos, I think, in gaming history.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Now, funny story. This is one of the ones that I have a funny story on. So it took me until sometime after the GameCube generation to understand the logo.
You mean you didn't clue in that it was a cube?
So I understood that it was a cube.
Yeah.
And I could tell that there was a G. But
I never see the C.
I didn't see the C in the black space. I never realized that it's a G. Yep. The purple's the G and the black is the C. It's kind of cool. I think it probably would have had a little bit more. It would have been, the C would have been a little bit more obvious if it was cut off here.
Yeah.
So if this little like up, because this makes it look like a G.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it should have been cut off.
I think I first noticed that when I looked at a black and white version of it, because they had a solid color version that they used for printing on like manuals and stuff. And I think that's where it first, clued into me, because the C was also the white space there and the G was black. So I think that's what caused me to notice it. But yeah, I didn't see it the very first time either, but I did notice it eventually back in the day. Yep.
So good.
Also,
the only thing that I find weird is the A. Why is the A weird?
So that is the same A from the Game Boy Advance logo.
Huh.
I think they were trying to use the same typography there, because the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance came out very close to one another, and they could link together. So I think that was part of a like, hey, we'll use the same font for GameCube and Advance.
Man, the GameCube was so cool.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you hold down the Z button, the sounds are different.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We don't have those in here, but there's one that's like children giggling, and like a little, like it's like a xylophone or some kind of instrument. And then there's one that has like, I guess, like really stereotypical like samurai movie sounds where it's like, yo.
Yep. Yeah. I love Easter eggs like that.
Yeah.
So I would say GameCube is probably my number one.
GameCube is incredible. It's definitely, I don't know if I'd call it my number one, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah. No, this one's definitely my number one. Number two will probably surprise you. But we'll get to it when we're not there yet. Okay. Let's see. Badu. All right, so that's Nintendo. We're going to start moving on to some of the weird one-off companies here, starting with the
other. So there are obviously other Nintendo systems with boot up screens, but like the Wii just jumps right to the menu. The Wii U is just the logo. The DS is just the logo, with like some flourishes on the dual screens. The 3DS is just the logo with some color, like some red waves. It's it's very basic.
Yeah, it's nothing special. The the Switch does have one the first time you boot it up ever.
Yeah, the first time you boot it up, and then that's it. Yeah, and then it's just the logo.
So dumb. But yeah, let's. So I've never seen the Philips CDI. I've never touched a CDI. Never seen a CDI. Definitely never seen the startup.
You have not missed much.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's got the logo. The logo turns into the disc, and it slides into the slot, which becomes part of the text.
Yeah, that's kind of
cool. Separator between interactive and media. It's fine.
Sounded very 90s.
Yeah. Oh, super 90s. This is congratulations. You've now seen the best thing about the CDI.
The intro logo, and it doesn't even say Philips CDI anywhere, does it?
Nope.
Nope, it just says Philips Interactive Media.
I believe there were some later variants of the CDI that had slightly different boot ups, but it's the CDI, man.
Yeah,
this is the best one, and it's just not worth it.
No,
it's just not worth it. The CDI is trash. I wish that it wasn't. I wish that I had nice things to say about it, but it was basically an interactive media kiosk that they decided, hey, what if we tried to make games for this thing as well? And it was disastrous.
Yes. Yeah, it did not go well.
Yes, this is the 3DO.
This is the 3DO, so I've definitely this is exactly the same for Philips. I have no clue what to expect here. It looks like is that what the 3DO looks like?
That is what this particular model of the 3DO looks like.
Oh, here we go again.
There were several models. I only
of
put
course
the one
there was.
In here.
Okay, let's see. Playing? Oh, okay. Put the disc in. Okay.
Yep.
Don't tell me. Is that it?
No, wait for it.
Oh.
Guess what? Stars!
What is happening? Oh, there's the Earth.
Yep.
That was Africa. I give it points for having actual continents.
Now this looks like
this looks like Star Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like the asteroid belt from Star Fox.
Yeah. What is happening? This is way too long. Real poop. Oh, real. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
It looked like a turd for a second.
It looks kind of turdly.
Oh, whoa.
See,
that was
that end part? That end part is all it needed to be.
Yeah, what? Like, I'm having trouble even pausing it at that point. It went by so quickly. Oh my good lord. Okay, well, that was terrible. That was terrible and way too long.
It was super long. 44 seconds long.
That's atrocious.
So to elaborate a little bit, the 3DO was not manufactured by the 3DO company. It was designed by them and then licensed out to other companies. Panasonic made a variant that was sold here in North America. Gold Star, which is the company that eventually became LG, which is a Korean company, also made a 3DO. I think Sanyo also made a 3DO system.
Sanyo. Yeah. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, Sanyo. But I think the Panasonic one was the only one that was available here. There were two versions of it. They were both sold here. And the most I ever saw of this, do you remember that game show It's Alive?
It rings
YTV game show. It was kind of like a gross out show. Like people.
Oh, was that the one with the green slime?
Yeah. They used to give these away as part of their grand prize packs. They used to give away 3DO consoles.
Oh, good lord!
That was the most promotion I ever saw for the damn thing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for this garbage console.
Yeah, I can play the worst version of Doom.
Yeah. What? Why does it say real? Does it stand for something?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Real. Welcome to the real world.
Known. You know what really bugs me is that the three colors in the 3DO logo do not match the three colors in the real 3DO
logo.
Interactive multiplayer logo. That bugs me as a designer.
This might be the worst one we've seen.
Yeah. It just needed to be this screen. Just have these fade in.
And have this make more sense.
Yeah.
Have this screen make more sense on top of that.
You know what? This, have them fade in, have the star field in the background, get rid of the meteors, just the stars.
Would have been fun. The meteors. Welcome to the real world with meteors.
Yeah, because that's something you encounter in the real world all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
It's way too long, way too over the top.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Imagine having to watch that every single time you booted up your console.
Oh God. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you can skip it.
Yeah,
that's 45 seconds long, Trevor. Oh no.
I know.
If you can't skip that, that's a real problem.
That's like trying to get into a game of Call of Duty. Just like,
oh God, yeah.
Watching 8,000 studio publisher logos. It's brutal. Yeah. Engine logos, everything.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is the Atari Jaguar. Again, this is another one I've never seen. So let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, just wait for it.
Oh. Oh, you ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it. That's all you needed. It was right there.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
They ruined it with this screen.
The spinning Jaguar cube is like
stupid.
You took away you have the cool looking logo. It's got like the bloody color and like the Jaguar claws on the R. You could have just left it there. It's very 90s. It's got that really edgy 90s thing going on, but it looks fine. A deep red against a black background.
The logo is sick.
Yeah, the logo's good. The roar sounds pretty good. It's a little bit crushed, but it's fine.
It is. Yeah. But that cube is dumb.
Yeah, the cube is terrible. It's like, hey guys, we can do 3D. If that's the 3D you can do, maybe you shouldn't be bragging about it.
Yeah, it's literally a cube with a 2D,
just a photo of a Jaguar.
Bitmap file of a Jaguar.
Yeah.
The same one on each side. It's like,
yeah, and by the way, the 3D games on the system do not look much better than that.
It is
very accurate to how these games look. Although, strangely enough, this has a really good version of Doom on it, so it's got that going for it. But that's it has Doom and it has Tempest 2000, which is just basically it's like the first HD upgrade of an arcade game. Remember how the Xbox Live Arcade had like Pac-Man HD Championship? Well, imagine that. Imagine a version of Tempest with HD graphics, but in like 1993. It's fine. It's Tempest. It's great. It's a fun game. But that's pretty much all the Jaguar has going for it.
Man, I love the logo.
Yeah,
I like the first 5 seconds of the boot up.
Yeah, the first 5 seconds is fine. Although here's maybe this will change your mind. You can use the controller to spin the cube around in different directions. Oh. No. Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, you blew something. I did like the Atari classic, have you played Atari today? The jingle. I like that, but it doesn't mix well with this like gritty Jaguar roar and the logo.
Yeah, it clashes. It's a neat little throwback, but that's the kind of thing that you put on like those Atari flashback consoles.
Yeah.
Rather than
I have a perfect idea that could have solved this problem.
Okay.
Eliminate the stupid cube entirely. Start with the Atari jingle logo, and then as soon as the Atari jingle stops, you get the roar and the Jaguar logo comes in. Yeah. So it says Atari Jaguar.
Yeah, done. that would have been better. I agree.
So dumb. Have you played Atari today?
It does get in your head though. I will say that. That is a nice little jingle.
It is. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to get rid of it. It just needed to be in the opposite order.
Yeah.
This just looks stupid. Jaguar, Atari. No one called it that.
The spinning cat cube in the middle. Yeah.
They called it the Atari Jaguar. Yeah. Okay. There's elements that I like about that, but clearly not enough to,
At least it's better than the 3DO.
Definitely better than the 3DO. All right, now we're going to jump into PlayStation and Xbox. We're going to start with PlayStation. And
everybody just prepare yourselves.
I have to say that I miss. Yeah, I have to say I misspoke earlier. The GameCube is not my number one. This is my number one. The PlayStation 1. How could it not be? It is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Cover your ears. This one's loud in general.
Yeah. You could feel it in your shoulders, right? The tingles. Oh yeah. And then right up your back.
Oh. I mean, that's perfection.
This is a 10-hour loop. This is a 10-hour loop.
It's in 4K.
This was the highest quality version I could find that wasn't somebody's fan recreation.
You should have heard it in my Beats headphones. That sound that initial like boom.
The bass.
Yeah. Oh, it was sick. Yeah. No, I mean, how can you improve off of that? That is just so good.
That is nostalgia personified. I get the tingles in my spine every time I hear it because it's like I'm 14 years old again and I'm going to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Final Fantasy VII.
Even people that weren't around for it, that listen to it go, that sounds sick. Like it just sounds awesome. Great. It's
what is
timeless.
It? What is that sound?
I don't know. What is it?
But it sounds cool.
Let's just do it again.
Yeah, well, fuck it. Let's do it again. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
It's like the THX sound.
Yeah.
It just reverberates through your being.
Man, easily number one best of all time. Easily.
Yeah. Also, I happen to know a little bit of a technical detail about this. Actually, I know a few technical details. So the Sony Entertainment logo, that's the system boot up, and the PlayStation logo, that's when it successfully loaded the game. Because if you had a game in really bad condition that it was struggling to load, it would hang on that Sony Computer Entertainment screen for a few extra seconds.
Yeah.
And the sound actually does extend. That sound effect is actually much longer, but it fades out and into the PlayStation logo sound once it's successfully loaded up the game.
It's so awesome.
So there's actually like a technical purpose to this and not just branding. Also, that's a 3D model. The Sony Computer Entertainment logo is a 3D model. You can find those 3D models online. They've been extracted from the system BIOS.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish they would go back to this logo instead of the plain white chain logo that they have. This one's so much cooler.
Cool thing about this though, as well, when you played a PS1 game on the PS2, it would do the standard like PS2 boot up, but then you know how the PlayStation 2 logo fades in? Instead, if you had a PS1 game in there, it would do this PlayStation logo with this sound. I thought that was cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool touch.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to move on from this one.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
I've said this before. DuckStation, the PlayStation emulator, says, hey, do you want to skip the PS1 boot up whenever you load a game? And I turn that fucker off because I go, fuck no, I don't want to skip it. I want to hear that every single time.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's Dante.
Yep, he's here. Waiting for the PlayStation 2 one to load. There he is. Here's a good boy. Hi. What you looking at? You don't know what you're looking at. All right. There you go. All right, let's see this PS2 one. This one's pretty classic, too.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show us.
Wait.
Oh, there we
go.
There
it is.
Yeah. So I'm not like. So I'm a huge fan of the PlayStation 2 logo and how it makes that sound. It sounds like something turning on, like whoop, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of futuristic machine getting energy sent to it, which is probably what they intended.
Even the physical design of the consoles. But we're going to have an actual physical video at some point.
Yeah, that'll come later.
Yeah, I'm not a super huge fan of the initial sound, like this part.
It's kind of loud at startup.
Yeah, it's I like the bassy stuff more than the treble-y stuff. So I prefer the Sony Computer Entertainment one.
I do like the lights. I like how they're the same colors as the buttons.
Yeah.
Also, there's a technical aspect to this screen as well. So you see those pillars there. I believe that's related to what the memory card capacity is. So if you've got a memory card with little to no data, there will be very few cubes. If you've got a memory card that's stuffed full of data, there will be more and more of those cubes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
It's just like a quick little way of telling you how much data is, currently being used on the memory cards plugged in.
The colors aren't perfect on those lights. One of them's
purple.
They're
not perfect.
Yeah, there's no purple button.
Well, it's probably. I don't know if this is like an issue with the with like the color grading or something, but there's a blue one that's kind of a purplish, and it should be bluer, and the pink one is more purplish than it should be.
Well, if I don't know if you can see it in the background,
but you've got the symbols there.
The symbols are there. So it's a green. So there's a green one. There's a red one. There's a red one. There's a blue one. Yeah, so that purple should be more bluish.
Yeah, it's a little more purplish than it should be.
And then there's like a salmon kind of colored one.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more pinkish, like purplish here than it should be.
Maybe it changed color. Oh no, I see. It's kind of blue. It's a little purpley, but yeah, that's cool though. All right.
Also, that logo makes me think of what was that game? Fantavision, because it's also a game where you've got lights going around. They're fireworks in Fantavision.
Yep.
But
it's on PS Plus game catalog.
that was the first PS2 game I ever played.
Yep. And we'll be talking about that on launch lineups in review in the future.
Yeah, in the future. Yep.
At some point.
What do you think has been seen more, the PS1 boot up or the PS2 boot up?
I mean, on the console, PS2. In general, online, I'd say the PS1.
Because it's hard to say because there are more PS2s out there than there are PS1s. But the PS1 has been around longer,
and people watch it online constantly. I mean, we just saw there's a 10-hour loop.
Yeah.
In 4K of the PS1.
Let's limit it to just the system boot ups, like
the system itself. I would say the PS2. I mean, the PS2 had 160 million sold,
160 million, something like that. Yeah.
Times how many times that console was booted up.
Plus you can play PS1 games on it, so I imagine a lot of people probably put their PS1s away just to save space. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I'm assuming as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are both great boot ups. If I had to pick a favorite, the PS1 is definitely a contender, but the PS2 is great as well. It actually feels a little more recent to me because I didn't own a PS2 back in the day. I didn't get it until the PS3 was already out. But I've had that long enough that it is nostalgic for me.
This one is probably the most nostalgic for me. The PS3 startup, and this is the PS3 Fat.
Yes,
the Fat Boy, the George Foreman grill. By the way, rest in peace, George Foreman.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up on the next episode.
Yeah,
but you got to there first. Yes, rest in peace, George Foreman.
Yeah,
designer of the PS3. I have a phone call coming in.
Designer of the PS3.
Go away, spam caller.
Yeah, I've had a few of those today too. Assholes.
I'm going to turn my phone off.
Okay, so let's listen and watch to the PS3 one. So this one gives me super nostalgia, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
That gives me chills. So it's obviously just a what do they call that? Orchestra
tune-up.
Orchestra tune-up. Yeah. But it just sounds so like it just builds.
Yeah.
It's just like I love it.
It's elegant, and it's also if you have that playing on speakers and not just like in headphones, it's got like a room-filling quality to it. Like you feel the sound around you.
I just felt it in my surround sound headsets here. The reason that this is the most nostalgia for me is because this is the longest console lifespan in my lifetime.
Yeah.
The PS3 generation.
Well, I suppose technically the PS4 is now because they're still making games for it, but
I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
But you mean when it was still like new and
when
fresh.
It was still the current console, exactly. No, this thing lasted basically 10 years because the economy crashed at the time that the thing launched. So it was just a really long generation, which I actually liked. There was a lot of people that at the end of the generation were like, man, we need to move on. But I'm like, no, I mean, this is like one of the best libraries in gaming history. Like, it's so hard to move on.
It was showing its age, but there were a lot of good games in this era.
So many.
And I really like the PS3 UI. I like its boot up. Like it's really, really nice. Like it's very clean. It's very simple. They used this interface on a number of devices, including the PSP. It's used on some of their later DVD and their earlier Blu-ray players.
Mm-hmm.
It's used on a lot of stuff. It's also, I believe, used on the PSX, which is the PS2 that is also a DVR that we also didn't put in here because, like,
yeah, I thought
that was going way too deep into the weeds.
Yeah, a little too deep, I would say.
I love the PS3 UI. It's fantastic.
The UI is fantastic. The startup is just so classic. I love it.
It's fun to navigate as well. Like the sound effects for when you move from one item to the next, that little click, but it's like a clink sound. It's got just a little bit of an echoey thing to it. Yeah, it's nice. It feels satisfying.
You can enable those sound effects on the PS5 UI.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and trust me, I did.
Yeah, it even has like the swoosh at the top of the UI on the PS5 if you put that on.
Yep. Yes, it does. But that was not the only version.
No.
Of the PS3.
What we're about to see is the one that I'm nostalgic for because I had a slim PS3. I still have a slim PS3. It's sitting over there. I haven't booted it up in a while.
I eventually got one as well because my fat one died.
Oh, what a shock!
I got the yellow light of death. Yeah.
A game console from that era died.
It's not that different, but it is slightly different. Yeah, exactly.
It's slightly different.
And we will point out slightly different. The intro is, the starting is really the biggest difference, and the logo changes.
Yep.
So let's look at that one.
So it is much heavier on the string instruments. It's not the entire orchestra. It's got the slim PS3 logo. It also doesn't have the sparkles. I kind of miss the sparkles.
You can enable them.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, it's a theme.
Oh.
They just changed the theme when the slim came out. So if you go into the theme, there's the sparkle version, the wave version, and then like a multicolored, like weird version that no one used.
Also, we should point out the background color changes depending on the time of year.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. Depending on the month, it changes like on a month-to-month basis. It's so cool.
Yep.
The PS3 UI is just killer, man.
Yeah,
and this was after they changed the logo too.
Yeah, I like this logo. I think it looks great.
This is basically what the logo is.
Going forward. The PS4 and PS5 use the exact same styling. You could also get so many fucking themes for the PS3. Like you could get them for the 362, but there were like 10 times as many on the PS3.
Yeah, like and now there's none on PS5.
Yeah, but you could just go for days and just find a whole bunch.
People miss that stuff.
Hell, there's software out there that you can use to make your own and load it onto your console if you want.
Yeah. So that's PS3. PS3 is awesome. Love PS3. Mm-hmm. Let's see what this is on. So I'll lower this one. So surprisingly, there isn't one for PS4. PS4 basically just boots right into the menu. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't just have the logo there while it loads for like 15 seconds and it goes to the menu.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of
so it's
just pops
not
in
really
there.
worth including in this because there's nothing to talk about.
I was hesitant to put the PS5 one in because it's very similar, but it's got a little bit more involved.
There's a little.
So we'll play this one again. It's not significant in comparison to the PS1, 2, 3. Wait for it.
Amazing. Yeah, it's got the little musical jingle and the sparkles. I like the sparkles.
Yeah. So it very quickly gets you into the menu, and then the music you were hearing is based on the game that's highlighted.
On the game, yep.
Yeah, which I muted. I got tired of hearing the same one all the time.
Yeah, that would annoy me.
Yeah. So, disappointing that the PS4 and PS5 really kind of did away with the startup.
If the sparkles were there while the PlayStation logo was there,
like a little bit more of an animation.
At least that would be something interesting to look at, and that would be fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not great. Not great at all.
It's better to be too simple than too complex, but it's not good to go too simple if you can do more. Like the Game Boy logo. The Game Boy logo is simple, but it's also very quick. You're waiting there for like 10 seconds for anything to happen.
Yeah, a little bit too too long in some cases.
Yeah.
All right, this is we're moving on to Xbox. This is the last series of one. Yeah, so this is the OG Xbox.
I think this one is my favorite.
Ooh, all right. Damn.
I think this one is my favorite. It's
pretty
really
cool.
hard to say because audio wise, it's like nothing here audio wise is as satisfying as the PlayStation 1 boot up. It's just not. I love the Sega CD music. It doesn't have like the spine, tingling reverb of the PS1 startup.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't either. It's pretty good. It's not as good. I love the visuals on it, though. I love the completely pitch black, like science lab that is lit entirely by the green plasma. I think that looks really fucking cool.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like the system is trying to contain the power, which is probably what they were trying to go for. I miss this Xbox logo.
Yeah, I was going to say that I like this Xbox logo a little bit more than the modern ones, but I don't know if you remember, but like most of the commercials, the animation for this Xbox logo was like that X was like ripping open, like as if the ground was opening.
Yeah,
up.
It was like a split in the ground, like the Earth was opening up, cool. And the energy. Yeah, that was cool as well.
I'm like, why wasn't that in the startup? If that was in the startup, it might be even better. So.
Oh yeah, they have it, and then it like you just see like the seams, and then it bursts open like that in the commercials. That would have been cool as well. Yeah,
yeah. They should have included. And the only thing I can think of is that came like after.
Yeah, it might have.
Maybe it was like a post creation. I mean, it's not like they couldn't. Well, they couldn't have patched it in, right? The OG Xbox didn't have a hard drive, or did it?
It did.
Yeah, it did. So they could have patched that in.
They could have.
Weird.
But maybe that was something created by a marketing company. Maybe it was like a rights thing, or maybe they just didn't want to change it.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a great startup though.
It's a great startup. The Xbox UI is also the most unnecessarily busy UI ever. That's not really covered by the scope of this video, but it's insane. If you've ever seen it, you know. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It is the most early 2000s interface ever.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
It's so over the top.
So this is the original 360 startup, which I completely forgot about that they changed this. I know that they changed the UI. I just completely forgot that they changed the logo startup. So let's look at the before, and then we'll look at the after here.
Yep.
Very cool.
Very quick. It's like 10 seconds long.
Very cool.
I like it. It's simple. It's clean. I like this font for the word Xbox. It's a little more basic, but I kind of like how clean it is.
That's the one they've used since, I think.
Yeah. And the logo here is fine, but the reason why I like the old one better is because the old one is a box. It fits in a box. This is a sphere.
Well, it's called the Xbox 360.
I know.
Which doesn't really make any sense if it's a box.
No, it makes zero sense.
We're not going to get into the naming conventions of Xbox because they're absolutely terrible.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
couldn't have just called it the Xbox 2?
No, can't do that. PS3 is a high number. This logo, I really like this logo. It's fine. I think the original Xbox logo just makes more sense because it's a square. That's it.
Yeah, why didn't they make why didn't they make it a square instead of a sphere? I mean, I'm 360, I guess, but they could have changed it in future iterations, and they didn't. They still kept it a sphere.
Yeah, they still, and again, it's good, and it is basically the same thing. It's two crossed slash marks with like green energy rising up from the depths of the earth. Yeah. It's just now it's on a sphere instead of on a flat plane or like a box. So it's still very similar. I get it. I just think the old one makes more sense. That's just my little nitpick as a designer.
I agree. Let's get the... Yeah, my computer's doing the resource thing again.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Come on.
It has been loading the videos faster, though.
Yeah, it's doing better. It shouldn't be having any issues now. There's only 3 tabs,
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's doing. All right, so this is the updated 360 startup.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like this one better.
I like it a little bit more. Yeah, the sound is a little bit different. I think it's just pitch adjusted a little bit.
And the start has a bass as well. There's
a little bit to that as well. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hum at the start. But I like the ribbons, the stripes, whatever you want to call them. I like those. It's cool how they're like flat. They look very 2D, but then they wrap around and impact the sphere and make the logo. And so it's like 2D becoming 3D. I think that's a cool effect. I like it when they mix stuff like that and make it look good.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it's really good. There is a version of this that is blue instead of green. I didn't bother putting it in here because it's just a color difference. But it does exist.
It's for the blue edition of the console. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't understand what the point of that was, but whatever, it's there.
I mean, we're talking about the same company that made an Xbox fridge, so yeah.
Oh God.
I don't even know what to tell you. But yeah, I like that one a lot. It's really good.
Yeah, 360 is a great system. I wish they hadn't changed the interface as many times as they did.
Yeah, it started off with the blades, and then
the blades were fine, but kind of sluggish. The interface that they changed it to was pretty good. It was basically the PS3 interface, if you think about it, just different orientation.
Yeah.
But then they changed it to the Metro tiles, which isn't good for navigating with a controller. In fact, it sucks. It's great for a touchscreen, but it's horrible for a controller. We've had this discussion before. No point in reiterating it, but you know.
It's true. And we'll have a lot more to say on a console ranked episode, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is the Xbox One boot up. Don't blink. It's quick. I'm going to lower it here. Ready?
Go for it. I blinked.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's quick. That's fine. It's kind of boring, but
it's pretty boring.
It's not bad.
I feel
you know what that would be good for? An Xbox handheld.
It would be. Yeah, it would be.
Very quick, but still something.
It's kind of interesting when you compare the Xbox One to the PS4 because they're from the same generation. It seemed like they both kind of went with this, like, let's get them into the game as quickly as possible.
Which, mantra. I can appreciate.
Which I can appreciate for sure. I do admit it does. It's very similar to how I feel about like manuals disappearing, where I'm like, let's stop taking away from like nostalgia.
Yeah. Although I will say I appreciate the material improvement of that because, like, if you lost the manual, you were fucked. You had no way to learn about the game. But now that the manual is built into the game in the form of like tooltips and tutorials and stuff like that, it's like, who cares if there's no manual? It's part of the game.
Yeah. It's all in the game and the options and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. All right, this is the last one. So this is the Xbox Series startup. Now, I will say that there is an updated version of this, but it's exactly the same, just sped up by like 3 times. It's just really fast. People complained that this startup was too long, which is ridiculous to me.
It's only 10 seconds.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier how one may surprise you. Okay. One of my favorites may surprise you. This is the one. I love this one. It's very, very cool. So let's watch the last one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I love it.
That's the kind of simple where it's not too simple. It's simple, but it's simple in the right way. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what's going to bother me now?
Yeah,
is your pointing of this? The X is on a sphere. It's gonna bug me. Yeah. It made sense to me for the 360, so I'm like, all right, it's called the Xbox 360, so it's round. But then, like, the Xbox One and the Xbox Series still have the fucking sphere, and it just says Xbox, but it's an X through a sphere. Why is it not an X through a box?
Yeah.
Fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. It's like they were like 360 really hit it off, so we got to keep that logo now. It's like no, you don't. You can edit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the bass that comes in and how it like fades into existence, and that slight. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a slight green tint.
Yeah, there's a very, very slight green tint to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
That's neat.
So I like it. It's very simple, but it's really cool. The only thing I don't like about it is the name of the console is stupid.
They're all stupid. They're all terrible.
They're all absolutely awful. Like Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One
X.
It's
the thing where we've been saying it for so long that it doesn't sound as stupid. I mean, it still sounds stupid. It's
stupid.
It doesn't stop us in our tracks with how dumb it is anymore. We've just kind of accepted it. Like Wii.
Accepted how dumb it is. Oh my god, the Wii. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna accept the Wii U though. That's so bad.
It's pretty bad.
Wii U. It's terrible.
Yeah. The ambulance.
Absolutely terrible. Yeah, it's the ambulance console. The Wii U. Yikes. Who came up with that idea?
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks.
Hold on. What about the Amiga one?
I don't think I had one in there.
Oh no. Here, I'm gonna put it.
Did you forget to put it in the thing, or did I forget to grab it?
You forgot to grab it. I am gonna put it. Hold on. Back it up. I'm gonna put it in the studio chat.
Hockey.
And you can put it in there.
That's what she said.
She hasn't said that in a while.
Okay. Definitely have not seen this one. Whoa. Really?
Is the video playing correctly?
No, it didn't play anything. Let me try it again. There we go.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Trippy.
So this is the Amiga CD32. It is also home to nothing but absolute trash. It honestly, it's a pretty stiff competitor with the Philips CDI for how bad the games are, which is a shame because the Amiga computer has a lot of great games. The Amiga CD32 doesn't. It does not. But that boot up I kind of like it. You know?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely better than the Philips CDI.
It's also the best thing about the system.
Bummer.
Yeah. It's got stars.
Is that all it has going for it?
It's weird. It's weird how so many of them have stars.
I mean, it's super easy to...
It is super easy to do.
To, like, create, so maybe that was it. They're like, well, we could do a colored background or a gradient background, or we could do space.
Yeah.
Because space is futuristic,
Space is always futuristic and cool. It'll never not be futuristic.
It's true. It's true. All right, now I think we're done.
Yes, now we're done.
Okay, now we're done. So this has been reviewing / discussing console startups.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting trip down memory lane. I think we both agree that the PlayStation 1 probably reigns as the king.
Yeah.
It's so hard to beat that. Like, it's so perfect in every way. Visually, audibly.
Yeah. It's just
so
great.
good. It's so good. Stands the test of time. You know, everything. It's just so good.
Like, I say that the Xbox is probably my favorite, but I acknowledge that the PS1 is probably objectively better, just because it's simple, but it's not super simple. It's simple in just the right ways.
I agree that the OG Xbox One is really cool.
Yeah. But the sound on the PS1 just it just blows everything else out of the water. That sound, those two sounds, the weird droning and like the weird metallic echo-ish kind of thing.
So good.
They're just so good.
So unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the PS3 one I really like as well. The original PS3 one with the orchestra. So good.
Yeah.
And the GameCube. Props to the GameCube.
GameCube is always fun.
Absolutely. So that has been Press Pause Extra. If you want to check me out on BlueSky, I am TJ, or at TJ-Leo.
And I am at Ninjas.
And if you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcasts@gmail.com. Hit me up on BlueSky if you want to join our Discord community called the Co-op Club. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe. And if you missed the last episode of Press Pause, you can click down here. And that's it for us. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
We out.
We out.